these two players, these two coaches. Oh, wait a minute. It's not Zin.
Oh, it's still Skylar, and let's welcome the Kings of Kings. It's Rex, Regim, Kaon.
With Skylar coming in once again, still the main five that we see on your screen. You can see that it going to be a very interesting matchup, especially with Captain Clay at the helms. I'm wondering what kind of surprise picks, surprise aggression that we will see and witness from the Kingdom today.
I think there's a lot of potential, especially in the rolling position for Naomi. On the other side though, Udil Pai, Nino, Sunny Boy. We're gonna see what the mass can bring to the table.
Let's welcome the uncrowned Kings. It's Alter Ego Esports.
Alter Ego Esports. Man, you'd write this team off over and over and over again, and they prove otherwise. I think a similar journey was just happened for them last season, and it seems like it's going on again today. This really is the proving ground for Alter Ego. If it really is the beginning of a good start to them, especially this season. But looking at this is, again, which one is which?
Which is which?
Some double ganger action we have right here with the coaching staff.
Hey.
Whoa, hey.
Oh.
See, I told you!
Oh my god, they switched! That's so funny!
You don't know, man. Cassius and Zaya, Nafari and Rave. We'll see what they bring to the table in the drafting phase tonight. It's kind of crazy, man. The teams are fighting against each other. The coaches are going toe-to-toe when it comes to the drafting. And even the fan base. If you're in the stadium today, if you're in the arena, you can see the Kingdom going up against the Alder champs. They're just trying to out-cheer each other, and it's absolutely massive. We can hear it through our mics.
Can I say something before we get into the tidbits? These are two teams with such similar coaches once again. Look at this. But again, different spectrum. Why different spectrum?
I think it's just the meta, the adjustment period as well. I think for Alter Ego, it's just been a very tough learning curve. And now with the change from the very hesitant pick of meta to the aggressive meta, it's just a lot more in line with what Alter Ego really likes. So we'll see if RRQ can find the same kind of success. And when you see this this combination picture, you really start to see the resemblance, man. It's kind of uncanny.
That and the record, Arashi. The record, 5 wins, 1 loss for RQ. But on the other side, it's 1 win and 5 loss. And fun fact, if they do end the series, it will also be the same. It's either 5-2 RQ or 6-2. It's going to be the same after this match.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's it. That's the spectrum.
Right.
That's the mirror. That is so interesting about both of these teams with such similar looking coaches. Their fates could not have been more different.
Yeah.
So we're all banking, hoping that perhaps Alter Ego might once again look for success. But on the other side, we do want to see RRQ back in their dominant state as we take a look at the keys to victory by the Samsung Galaxy Z Series.
Skylar plays actively with alternatives beside the Beatrix. We talked about the Irithel, we talked about some other options. Will we see something even crazier? Back then there was a pop on Koopa in the gold lane. We haven't seen that for a long time, but maybe with Assassins coming back into the meta, you can never really count some of these heroes out. Win the matchup against Alter Ego's mid-duo, if they can do that, that just smoothens out the rotation pattern for both Clay and Naomi. Both players who are so active, so aggressive, and trying to influence the other lanes, including the jungle. So that matchup is definitely something that RRQ will try and get all the way in the drafting phase. But on the other hand, here's the victory by the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 5 for Alter Ego. Punish Fairstick's overextending habits. We saw this in their last defeat for RRQ. Fairstick has been just very aggressively overextending, and he's been punished a lot for it. If Alter Ego can exploit that, that is indirectly more guaranteed towards their neutral objective control, where Sully Boy is actually doing really, really well right now.
Yeah.
Rassi's hero exploration with more flexible drafts, that's also something that Alter Ego can use. Now that he can actually go defensive and aggressive, they can use that to try and outmaneuver, outsmart RRQ in the drafting phase.
Yeah, I feel like Rossi now coming into the fray, not wrecked, has bring a new breath of fresh air, just like he did back in season 11. It was Alter Ego struggling right in that first half of the season, but slowly but surely rebuild their quote-unquote momentum, and it might happen again this season.
Hopefully. I think a lot of Alter champs out there are just hoping for that, right? After such a tough early start to the season, you finally get to break that lose streak, and then of course you're hungry for more. At least so Alter Ego can make it to the playoffs, because if they don't make it this season, that's
Yikes.
First time in 4 seasons.
exactly. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome you into the drafting phase here for both of these teams. Alter Ego on the blue side, RRQ on the red side. And despite all the changes and all the change in opinion on the Claude, it is still going to be respected away from Skylar.
Fun fact right here, we were looking at a bit of the stats earlier, and actually for RRQ, their winning rate when they are first pick is 25%. On second pick, it's about 90. It's a huge disparity, and now that RRQ is on the second pick, it's a bit of a scary situation for Alter Ego, but they are focusing all their attention on the gold laners, whereas for RRQ, same old, always these assassins in the jungle.
Yeah, very two different approaches, but very committed, right? With the Claude and Beatrix ban, it's just targeted heavily towards Skylar. But there you go, the Paquito ban saying, you know what, we also respect the potential coming from Banana in that EXP. But no, different. RRQ, all 3 bans, somehow regarding towards the jungler. All very fast first pick. It's going to be Kadita.
Already a very different change in playstyle coming from Alter Ego, picking up the Kadita first. It should fall into the hands of Rossi, but it still can be flexed onto Udil, taking a look at their history this season.
Wow.
But for RRQ, this is it. It's so typical RRQ, picking up the Fredrin. We know how much they love the Fredrin, but this is it. Irithel, finally, we're gonna see it in the hands of Skylar.
That's so early though, what? First pick gold lane. We don't see this too often, but RRQ, their gold laner generally just performs. What they need to hide is the roamer and the mid laner, as well as the jungle on occasion, so this might not be the worst of ideas. The Kadita pick has denied a pick from Clay, but if Clay wants to be aggressive, the Valentina is still available, unless Alter Ego picks it up and goes for the very devastating double burst mid lane combo.
What do you think about the Terizla here? Again, in response to that Irithel pick. Yeah, Terizla and as well as Brody will be picked up. And this Terizla serves two purposes, right? It's asking a question. Irithel, do you want to go Purify or do you still want to go Inspire? Or Flicker?
Sprint.
Oh, yeah, Red Sprint is an option as well for Irithel. Wow.
Well, in the gold lane, this matchup is going to be confusing quite a bit because, again, the Brody can do a lot of damage, can have more poke, but I think in the long drawn-out team fights, RRQ will have a bit of an advantage right here, especially with the X-Borg making it into the fray as well. The Firaga armor will be so useful in burning out the damage and the combos from the Kadita and perhaps the Brody as well.
It's... With the X-Borg being picked up by RRQ, do you not think that RRQ needs a little bit more disengage tools? Do they not need to protect the Irithel just a little bit more here? With so much dive coming in, penalty zone, you have the Kadita as well, always on the lookout for this Irithel.
So Bane perhaps might come up here the first time in week 4, day 3, if not banned as well from side of Alter Ego. But Alter Ego, what are they trying to limit here? I feel like the composition of RQ, they lack range.
Range is definitely an issue so far. We haven't seen a mid laner just yet, and there you go, Alter Ego banning away the Yeeve, banning away the disengage tool technically as well, the slow field, the real world manipulations that RRQ can use to try and pull away from these big engages. But they are letting go a lot of heroes for Naomi and Fersig, which might be dangerous.
Let's take a look at the comment here from Nino though. I hope Bangsin will play against Alter Ego. After all, we did make that agreement, so it wouldn't be right if he's not played. I guess we're left.
Yeah. Wow. Nino disappointed. Left high and dry. Quite literally. Last ban for RRQ though.
Baksha? Oh,
banning the
never mind.
Baksha?
Never mind, they can't pick up the buckshot themselves.
Well, they've been hellcurt though.
Oh!
They are quite aware of the pocket picks for Alter Ego. Now with Alter Ego ban away maybe the Kufra, it's quite dangerous looking at the composition. They might be all clumped up together. We've seen what Naomi can do on a hero such as the Kufra.
What are we thinking about this Hellcurt ban, right? Because sure, there's a clear target in the Irithel, but mid laners kind of opened up. Theramis? Do you think they're going to go for a Novaria? Is that why they want to protect the backline in banning out the Hellcurt?
Maybe.
Well, against Evos, the Hellcurt was the one pick that really haunts their memories, but it will be that Theramis. So, Alter Ego, they're trying to go all in. They do not want the delays to happen. If they want to go for the Novaria, that could be an option. Good crowd control, good intel management as well, but it is a bit more utility more than damage, and the long range will help them, but it doesn't really have good synergy with the rest of the team.
What's a good pickup here? The mid or the roam here? I feel like they can pick up the mid, just wait for that last pick for the roam to give
Edith?
hero towards Naomi. Edith?
Yeah, when you're trying to be defensive, the Edith is always a solid pick, and it allows you to have a bit more diversity in your damage options. We're talking about range right here, right? So the first pick is going to be... Oh, the Valir!
What?
Wow!
All right, the debut of Valir ever at MPL ID Season 12. It finally makes an appearance in the hands of RRQ.
You said you want disengage, Eterna.
Well,
this is it!
Exactly.
Against the dive comp.
I wouldn't expect this, and technically because of the new patch, because of how important that first turtle is, the fact that Valir is already really powerful, level 1, it kind of makes sense. You just stack these up and it really amounts to so much damage in the early game.
He can remove crowd control as well with his ultimate and providing a lot of crowd control in those long clumped up team fights. When we're talking about potential heroes, I mentioned Valir, but I wasn't expecting it to make an appearance right here. Alter Ego goes for the Cho and Hayabusa, rounding out this very aggressive composition.
Practically all 5 heroes from Alter Ego can dive, right? Rhodey even with the smooch, Cho, Haya, every very divey composition. RRQ, Valir, X-Board combo with the Kufra. Valir mid is the way to go here. Wow.
I am worried about wave clear for the Valir, especially if RRQ want to play early game. But other than that, in these skirmishes, in the long drawn team fights, I do understand the value of the Valir pick.
You can push people back, you can just stack up the stuns, and technically if you can reset properly with your first skill, right? You can still get a decent amount of wave clear. I don't think it's really it's not the fastest wave clear though, so I think it's gonna slow down the rotations quite a bit.
I'm excited though. I had a feeling that we would see crazy picks maybe from the match before, but for RRQ with Clay picking up the Valir, I never pegged him as a creative pocket strat, pocket pick type of person, but I like it.
Yes.
Ooh, he is relying. Oh, hang on, he has a season hunter. What is going on right here? Agility, season hunter, and the Impure Rage.
Is that for wave clear?
Wild. This is wild.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, let's take you into the land of dawn. And here we go. The first match of the series, Alter Ego against RRQ with a surprise Valir pick for RRQ. Will it work out? Will it not? But before we even see the results and the outcome, we do appreciate and respect that level of experiment.
Looking at the matchup right here, you can see that Clay opts to not go for the Purify. He has the Vengeance Flame to cleanse off any crowd control. And look at the early game, man. If you're not careful, you're going to take a lot of punishment, especially against this Valir. But if he misses these, if he misses the burst fireballs, it might be quite difficult for him to actually get a lot of value. So it's a very hit or miss hero.
On top of that, Skylar also goes for the sprint.
Yep.
So that's the spell that he goes for, but here we go.
Sully Boy caught low. Rossi trying to zone out the back lines, Fredrin and Clay. Sully Boy is still survives, but he is rather low. So very, very good trade by the side of RRQ.
So that choice of talent coming in from Clay, but Wait a minute. Okay, some damage being traded off by both of these teams in this mid side. Does anybody want to go for it?
Oh, he has a shadow kill. First blood will fall. Oh, good catch by Naomi. Under the turret as well. That's practically a solo kill by Naomi.
Oh, the outplay.
That was crazy. Wow, Naomi just salvaging the situation kind of, but losing your mid laner so early on, this is definitely not ideal for RRQ, and even the gold lane. You can see that Skylar is struggling quite a bit. In the EXP lane, the X-Broke though is working quite well. Here's the update on the patch notes though. Aerithel with the cooldown decreased, but the duration decreased as well for the ultimate. This is why she has a bit of synergy with the Dragon Spear. In the early game, I guess that early game pressure will be enough to allow RRQ to get an uncontested turtle.
Oh, take a look at this pressure though, Skylar. Already level 4, but seems like the torn apart memory was not enough to take him down. As the reinforcements, Clay and Naomi will be able to cover him.
Yeah, they completely turned that around. Looking at the talent's prediction, it is going to be a split 3 versus 3. But back to the Aerithel point, the fact that her skills were adjusted in terms of damage and duration, it really just highlights the fact, no way, right? Okay. It really highlights the fact that trigger discipline is so important on the Aerithel. You need to be able to maximize the moment you decide to go for the ultimate because of how quickly the duration goes for. And it's too expensive if it gets wasted.
I see Wave Dragon. Good Petrify as well. The combo just comes in. And Freshsick will be taken out. Naomi now will not be able to find a kill as Udil finds a double. That's a good catch. Alter Ego, they managed to equalize now.
Will he get out though, right? Udil
suicide.
Gonna go for a kill. Okay, a suicide, but it does hand over the kill towards Clay.
Overall, that's not that bad of a deal. Clay though, he was trying to take down Rasi and Udil at the same time, sort of. And unfortunately, when your opponents split apart like that, Valier does struggle to output that damage. Only in proper front to backs does he really find full value. Freshsick will be able to take that gold buff. So retribution-wise, we'll have to see once the 50-50s do roll around who comes out on top.
There's a certain layer of advantage that Fredrin has when they go for the contest. But the problem is here, Selly Boy is a level ahead. Meanwhile, man, Banana and Pai, they're just going back and forth with this exchange. But look at the damage onto Pai.
It's a brawl lane, technically, right? No Viraga armor. He forced to use the flicker, but the quad shadow connects. A Selly Boy will take him down without the shadow kill.
Wow, Alter Ego, man. These aggressive maneuvers, rotations around the map, they're really working out, catching RRQ off guard again and again, and the timing could not be worse for RRQ.
It's a 4v4. Oh, Naomi insta-bursted down by the 4 members standing from Alter Ego. But it seems like Alter Ego, they're not too hasty on getting the turtle. It seems like Freshsick, who is more aggressive, even though he has no purple yet.
Yeah, it looks like he's going back though. And meanwhile, Selly Boy already has it. He has a level advantage as well, so it really depends. Does Clay want to commit onto this? Freshsick? No, they don't. They don't try and contest for this.
It's a bit of a wise choice. They are outnumbered in the top side. Banana finally makes it back to the lane, so he'll be able to push quite a bit more, but contesting with Amanda's advantage, when you are still behind on gold, that could be a recipe for disaster.
Let's take a look at the fun fact here by Grab on Valier though. The last time Valier was used in MPL ID Season 9, played what? Skylar gets taken out?
Yeah, Shadow Kill was used and he got taken down. Rossi now does not care.
But back to that fun fact. But back to that fun fact here. The last time it was played, it was a Bionic in Season 9. I think it was against the Hylos, or was it with the Hylos?
Ooh, I
Something
forgot.
to do with Hylos. It was like a cheese strat that Onyx really wanted to utilize. And of course, who's behind this cheese strat? Aldo. There you go.
They didn't manage to win though in that particular game, unfortunately, forced out of Onyx.
So right now, Valier is still sitting at a 0% win rate. Let's see if RQ can make it a 50 as we take a look at the in-game equipment here in the first 6 minutes of the game.
Clay itemizing for a Dreadnought armor early on. This is going to be a full tank utility Valier. We have such a small sample size, we can't really say definitely which build would do well, but he is going to be lacking damage, and now Rasi makes the play.
Yeah, we're dragging onto it, Skylar, and there you go! Udil follows it up perfectly! Freshsick now trying to soak in damage. Appraiser's Wrath pops as well. But that was a good setup by none other than Rossi.
Beautiful, beautiful. A good pick onto Skylar of all players. It really is going to hinder his ability to catch up on that farm and get those important items that he severely needs. Especially now that he's lost that lane. 3,000 gold lead here for Alter Ego. And back to the Valir point. That's the cool thing about Valir. All you need to do, I understand, build a little bit more defense, and then you go for the wands. And I feel like the wands are enough to just level out that damage with the dot coming in. From either, you can go glowing wand, you can go for definitely the Ice Queen wand for a little bit more utility. It's more versatile in that sense.
Oh, Flicker, Way of Dragon top side. Skylar, goodbye. They will trade it with the turtle. That was a huge, huge setup. Again, set it up by Rossi.
You have to wonder though, was that intentional? Are RRQ realizing that Alter Ego, they just keep going for Skylar. So if you put Skylar on the opposite side of the map, we by default can get the neutral objective. They secure the turtle, but you have to start to wonder, is it worth it, man, when your goal leaders 1 and 3?
Well, that is a huge question indeed. For now, RRQ will be able to clear and secure that top tier 1. Seems like Alter Ego is trying to grab more ground here in minute 8.
And if that's the case, then that's when Clay needs to start building damage. Because if you're falling so hard on damage on all these skirmishes and team fights, especially now that Skylar is so far behind, I'm actually curious to see how far he's gone with the items and that difference in gold. But if he's that far behind, that's when Clay kind of needs to step up in that damage department as Alter Ego utilize their extra space to get that turret in the top side.
Look at how RRQ are moving around the map right now. They are completely terrified of Rossi being in one of the bushes out of nowhere. They're sticking S5, and that allows Alter Ego to just win out in the macro game. RRQ has lost a tower out of nowhere for no real trade-off, and they're still sticking up in the mid lane, only sending Banana to stop Nino. It might be too late though.
The mid will be the target, but it seems like Alter Ego will catch and knock up Naomi. He will be taken down here, surely, with the Way of Dragon as well. Pi secures the kill. Play in the backside will receive the torn apart memory, which takes his life. Alter Ego Esports solidifying their lead now to a 5,000 gold lead.
What a disaster. It might not be over just yet, though. Seems like Fair State wants to try and find something. He gets kicked, though.
Good angle from Rossi, but, ooh, good flicker as well. Last Insanity now popped as a defensive maneuver. Sally Boy in the backside with the shadow kill will not have enough damage. A full to kill a Banana. Wow.
That was very close.
That was very close.
A little too close for comfort if you are a Kingdom right now. Back to that 5,000 gold lead already for Alter Ego. Looking strong, looking dominant as, again, Rossi. He's so good at finding those perfect moments and the follow-up coming in, or maybe even Pi going in for the engage. And that's the problem, right? They have to worry about 2 separate tools for RRQ. And again, not enough disengage when it happens.
Make it 3 with the Kadita as well. Naomi now has the Athena shield though. He will be a lot tankier for Udil to try and pick off. Might be a bit too late though with a 5k gold lead and the First Lord in the picture, RRQ. It doesn't seem like they'll be able to actually contest this unless some big play happens. Unless maybe Sully Boy gets picked off, but they can't even see where he is. He's playing so well, hiding in the shadows, waiting for an opportunity.
And he has a Malefic Roar to boot. It's going to be a lot more damage, a lot more penetration. And in addition, Nino goes in for the BOD as well. Alter Ego, so much damage.
Almost here. No flicker from Pi. This is why Alter Ego Esports, they're playing it slow. Naomi catches one top side. No follow-up damage. That is quite clear. Udil manages to go and escape from that situation.
He commits. Naomi commits on all his skills. Udil didn't even have to use his ultimate to escape, but now they have all the tools to do it.
Oh, Way of Dragon onwards for a sec. Oh, the burst damage from Udil will take Lay down. And now it's an all-out brawl as Nino finds the killing spree. That's a green light for Alter Ego to take this Lord.
Alter Ego snowballing out of control. Sally Boy, Udil, Nino, all the main damage dealers from Alter Ego. They're just doing an insane amount of damage right now, and RRQ cannot deal with it. Even Clay, I mean, with the Antique Cuirass kind of built up, with Versik already having a full Antique Cuirass, they're still getting completely bursted down. We finally have a chance to look at the items and look at the gold disparity, man.
Whoa.
4,000 for the jungle, 2,500 for the gold lane. RRQ can still kind of defend, but looking at the items, all defensive. And look at that mechanical outplay, Sally Boy.
Oh, indeed. Banana will not be able to defend this mid tier 2. With Alter Ego, the damage is definitely evident here. Oh, torn apart memory was somehow popped there. But the Lord, this is the first Lord, it won't charge, so it seems like RRQ will be able to hold all of their base turrets.
But remember, right, Skylar only has 2 items, if I'm not mistaken. Berserker Fury and Haas Claws.
Yes,
Is
you're
that
right.
right?
Yes.
That's all he's been able to build so far. So more crit chance, but there's not enough to be able to dish out the damage just yet, especially with how much dive is coming through from the side of Alter Ego. What do they do now? What should RRQ do?
Well, Skylar just finished the great Dragon Spear, so now he can be a bit more mobile as long as Udil doesn't really catch him with his pants down.
Whoa.
But for RRQ, aside from that, Clay has the glowing wand, so now there will be a lot more damage that Alter Ego needs to be considering. But so far, they just have to move around, and quite frankly, the poke damage on the Valir is not nearly as troublesome as a Yve or a Farsa.
Not yet. That's the thing. I feel like despite the presence of a Valir early game, he still needs those items.
Okay, let's see. RRQ trying desperately to take the purple, which Persik did. High, soaking the damage. Banana will lose all of his Viraga armor. It seems like Alter Ego playing it very, very slow. 16 minutes, a minute towards the next Lord.
Does Pi have magic resist? Magic damage resist?
High radiant armor.
Oh, so there you go. That's why it's so difficult for the Valir at this point because of how far behind he is. He needs something of a, I don't know, divine glaive, glowing genie swan is what I meant. Maybe to stack that damage in and glowing wand to boot.
Well, the glowing wand is great enough because it does percentage HP damage, right? But like you mentioned, with the resistance that's built up from Pi, if he goes for a genius one, that's great, but there's no real synergy with the rest of his team. So I think if he wants some more damage, Divine Glaive is the way to go, or just go with flat out more damage, and hopefully one of your fireballs will nick the other members from Alter Ego. But look at this, everyone gathering on the bottom side, trying to clear the wave before the Lord is up. But now they have a treacherous path to try and figure out if the Lord is going to be a death trap by Alter Ego.
Oh, Sally Boy needs to be careful. It looks like he wants to clear down that bottom lane. But they might just let it go at this point.
Yeah. RQ, it seems like you're trying to find compensation, trying to find the tier 2 in the bot's side, which I feel like they will. And they will trade it for the Lord here, so is it worth it?
Ooh. If they are so confident that they will not be able to actually win in the fight, I guess that's better than nothing. Now there's more pressure in that bot side. Any minions pushing will be a lot more of a serious risk because it will be going directly to the base turret. And now with this Lord having a bit of a charge, you can bet that Alter Ego will be looking for a chance and opportunity. Banana has finished the Ice Queen's wand, so there's going to be a lot more utility, a lot more slows for Alter Ego to trudge through. And Skylar has the Wind of Nature, so he will be a bit more immune to the burst damage, and this is where the Hayabusa generally falls off. But with how on point Sally Boy has been, there's a chance he'll be able to bait that out and still make a big play with the Shadow Clone.
I agree. There's only one wand, and there's also a turn apart memory that he needs to be worried about. All they need to do is just bait that out in order to deal that damage onto Skylar. But looking at this, it looks like they're actually clearing out really well. RQ, they're defending.
Good defense. They will lose the base turret in the mid lane though. But Banana manages to just hold that Lord to not charge in base turret top side. That is a very small but crucial move.
It's a dangerous situation for RRQ because with the Brody available for Alter Ego, that's a lot of siege potential because you can move around and move away while still channeling your basic attack, and it comes in big chunks, which is amazing to try and blow down those turrets one by one. RRQ now will be trying to stabilize, trying to secure the buffs as much as possible. 11,000 gold lead for Alter Ego. If they play this disciplinedly, there's only Naomi to rely on to make some kind of play happen, but I think Alter Ego already have that as part of their expectations.
Oh my goodness.
Man, Imperial ID is really milking this Look at the bottom screen. It's just been the comparison between both of these coaches for
Which
the
one's
longest
which?
of time. I think left is Zaya.
Cassius, maybe?
Is it Casey?
I think so. Maybe though. I'm not sure.
Aren't they pretty much like
Anyway.
interchangeable?
Exactly. So we don't even know until this point. But back into the game, still a 10,000 gold lead here for Alter Ego. And they really are just trying to bank on the fact that RQ can look for a snowball coming in from Skylar. At least get him where he's online. With this pick-off strategy that it seems like Naomi is looking for, they might just get it. Or will Rasi look for a counter engage?
Oh, good bait now. Banana caught isolated, forced to use the flicker, but now he is still in the fight. Rasi, though, will soak the damage and is okay. He has the Immortal as well.
But he wasted
A flicker.
a flicker and his Way of Dragon.
That's info.
That is.
Without the Way of the Dragon, the pick-off chance is a bit lower. But Rasi has been a lot more aggressive, and where it's most dangerous is when the neutral objectives are in contest. Right now, with the wave pushing on the bot side, it's very beneficial for Alter Ego, but Skylar, wow. Pops his ultimate, just shoots out some more bolts, and they're going to be making their move first to the Lord, and Odil makes a play alone.
Yeah, it seems like he wants to poke the Viraga armor down, which he succeeds. Before the Lord, let's see here, Banana needs to charge the batteries to pop that last insanity. Seems like First on Bother, he's still the first to be in the vicinity.
And he's finally level 15. It took him so long to get to that point because of how suffocating Alter Ego have been playing. Finally at level 15, a little bit more say in these neutral objective takes, if not a little bit more than Silly Boy on the Hayabusa, depending on how these roamers look for, I would say, just an engage on either one of the junglers. So it really depends on setup here, and that resource allocation is more important than ever.
Now blink and you'll miss it. Look at Rasi already trying to be a bit more elusive, looking for an opportunity here. He knows that a front to back is exactly what RQ needs to win this fight at level 15. Will RQ react in time when they see him? He might conceal to make it even more surprising as well. Alter Ego already in position to follow up on the play.
Yeah, the conceal play will emerge. No flicker though. Rasi canceling the charge. Pi half HP gets on it. Oh, he gets stunned as well. Take a look at the frag side. Udil managed to find one, but Pi will go down first. And it seems like Alter Ego with 4 members will be able to find Banana's immortality. But that is an L for Alter Ego.
That was not the cleanest of setup at all. It felt like RQ were already sniffing as to where Rasi was. Skylar being able to evade all that, wasting all those resources and taking Pi down in the process. That's value, value, and value for RQ as they look to take this Lord.
Look at Silly Boy though in the backside. Skylar will be taken down as well as Clay now. Clay will be the first one to fall first, but Skylar manages to get away somehow. Rasi loses immortality, Wind of Nature popped. Wow, that was a clutch WON. And now Silly Boy is still alive, still has immortality as well. RRQ backs away.
Skylar is an eel, man. He's slithering out of the
Slippery,
hands. He's
very
so
slippery.
slippery. What is that?
Unfortunately, Clay does get taken out, and Farazek uses Retribution to secure the purple buff in the chaos. Now that Lord will be taken by Alter Ego. RRQ though, they have shown that they have caught up. Damage is now being felt. Alter Ego can no longer shrug it off, and counter items have been built. Sully Boy is having a harder time trying to one-shot the squishier members in the back line, and that is trouble. Alter Ego's composition isn't meant to be brought all the way this late into the game at 20 minutes.
And let's take a look at the in-game equipment here by Junior Games, because as you mentioned, 20 minutes in, we should see full items being prepared. But, oh, okay, so the Valier, he doesn't opt for penetration at all. He just goes for Glowing Wand, and then he goes for Ice Queen.
Utility.
And everything else is just defense, which are Truncheon as well.
Utility is great, but Alter Ego, the way they're approaching these fights makes it very difficult for the searing flame of Valier to actually do anything. He cannot push everyone back at the same time. Now the Lord comes in, Alter Ego are going to make their move.
Pi pops the penalty zone early though. No clear follow-up damage. Ooh, half HP. But the true damage that Banana provides. Oh, very low, gets on it. Forced to use the flicker. still has immortality. Naomi managed to catch one, and that is Nino, who will not lose his immortality just yet. Rasi, though, will be the first one to fall. As RRQ, they not just managed to defend, they managed to find Rasi as well.
But remember, 2 inhibitor turrets are already down for the side of for RRQ. So Alter Ego, despite losing Rossi, I don't think it's too much of a big deal for Alter Ego. Sure, RRQ are able to defend and stave off for just a little bit longer, but it's not too much of a L for Alter Ego.
Unless RRQ can make it a bigger L. Rasi now not on the map means there's 25 seconds right here where they can be very, very aggressive. They can shove out lanes, get a bit more utility, and maybe prepare a trap in the jungle. They're sticking together right now, and noticing that, Sully Boy, he's doing the split push play, and look at that, respect from RRQ. They are going to be recalling, and the only thing they can get actually are 2 turrets. That's still massive value considering the late game investment. Here's the instant replay of that fight though. Initially, they try and go in, but without a flank route, Rasi is unable to make the play happen. And the back line for RRQ, they're just very good at positioning. Both Clay and Skylar just kiting and managing distance so well. The Alter Ego, they have to wait for the next Lord and use it even better to try and end out this game.
I'm wondering, before that engage, did Nino have Immortal? Or did he buy it as he was getting caught?
That's a good question. Maybe it's a quick buy, but he didn't lose his Immortal nonetheless.
Yeah, but that's clutch. That's
Quick
life-saving. That's very required, especially with the pick coming in from Naomi. Unfortunately, Pi went in a little bit too early, or there was no follow-up from Alter Ego. Which is which?
At this point, the coordination needs to be on point, man. Whatever is the reason, using a penalty zone when there's no follow-up, that's dangerous. But look at Banana.
Yeah, Banana will lose all of his Viraga armor again just before the Lord. This is not a good timing to lose that armor here if you're an X-Borg. Let's see here, the setup, Alter Ego has a much better setup here.
Ooh, they're already poking down on the Lord. It got resetted actually. So now it's pretty okay. Steady Boy though adjusts his build, gets the Haptoses to ensure that there's a bit more burst in his kit. And look at this. 3 members just watching, maintaining distance, and 2 members going to the top side, maybe to punish someone pushing the wave. But without any base tower, there's no need for anyone from Alter Ego to rotate all the way up there. RRQ, if they show 2 members right there, Alter Ego will pull the trigger and make something happen.
Yep, there you go. The Way of Dragon on towards Banana, who still has immortality. Banana has no enough time to pop that list insanity even. Banana will buy the Winner's Truncheon, will survive and escape with the last insanity. What a play. Naomi charges does not connect as Pi now. Soaking damage. Oh, the knockup though on towards Naomi. Not quite the target that you want, but it's still a 5v5 here in the Lord Dance.
Yeah, no casualties whatsoever just yet, but they were able to get Banana quite low to go for a recall. Here it is once again. Damage onto the Lord. Everyone just resetting, re-looking for their position. Naomi doesn't find a particular target, but RQ, they're zoning Alter Ego out here.
Yeah, look at the HP bars, man. Rasi, as well as everyone else, slowly but surely, they are getting chipped down by the Valor damage, by Banana, just hosing them down. But look at that, RRQ making the move.
Yeah, Flicker as a defensive. Oh, Silly Boys is the right move. Shadow goes towards 4 members of RRQ. Skylar now still survives and still has immortality, but Rasi will lose and loses life as well. First Signal on the other side also lost his immortality. Sally Boy looking for an angle, does not quite get it. It's still RRQ again, taking Rasi down.
Wow, the discipline, man. In that fight, it looked like there was chaos. It looked like they were in disarray, but they regrouped, they recalibrated what they were trying to do, and they're able to get Rasi off the map for 48 seconds at this late hour of the game. They can make something happen right there, but they have to be careful. Split pushing is still a very valid option for Alter Ego. RRQ, though, this is where they need to force a fight, force something decisive.
It's so lucky that Alter Ego were able to get those 2 inhibitor turrets because the lanes were crashing in favor of Alter Ego, and RRQ, they weren't able to force it despite that man advantage. Uril?
Yeah, he again manages to just chip down, not just chip down, he's solo killing X-Borg, what? First with the Braziers Wrath now finds Nino, but the Navage is not enough. Pi trying to zone two members, Skylar and Naomi. Take a look at Sunny Boy. He finds a good angle for Skylar, and Skylar will be taken out by the shadow kill. Sunny Boy collects the unstoppable, as it seems like Naomi will be taken down as well. But no, not yet. He still has to flicker. Tornabart memory though will secure the kill. But it seems like Clay will be the next in the chopping block. And there you go. 50 seconds on the soonest member of RRQ. And Alter Ego, they will claim the first game.
Here it is, the engage onto Persic, the only one left standing, but even he doesn't stand a chance against the aggression coming in from Alter Ego.
Wow, that was a very intense game. But Alter Ego, they were the better team from early to the late as well.
Wow, RRQ. It was a valiant effort, and they were
You don't
able
have to sound
bring...
so disappointed, Arashi.
It is what it is. I mean,
A little bit safer towards that damage coming in from the Kadita, but that still can be replaced by other kind of heroes, dive-in heroes. Ling opened up here for Versik to utilize if he wants, and just plain range coming in. But they're gonna go for Terizla and Brody.
The heroes that were used by Alter Ego in game
Swapping.
one
They're
to shut
swapping.
Irithel down. Wow.
well, the Irithel without a flicker will be forced to stay inside the penalty zone if Banana can land it, so it's still a bit of a counter. In the lane, the Brody will be able to do a lot of work, but how can RRQ ensure that the lane will go as dominantly? In game number one, Alter Ego were able to gank Skylar again and again, orchestrate dives, orchestrate skirmishes that put Skylar on the back foot. If RRQ wants to do so, they need crowd control, they need mobility. Fersik's specialty has always been the Boxia. I feel like that's not a bad pickup for this game, but look at Alter Ego, man. The Weave that was banned out by Alter Ego in the second phase, they've picked it up along with the Martis.
Okay, they're trying to balance out, right? They're trying to balance it out with that Martis here, trying to give pressure towards that early, so RRQ will not have that momentum from early game. Question is, what will they pick here? First phase to close that out. They might secure a hero for Naomi.
They might. Franco is an option,
Oh,
but
whoa.
they go for the Valentina for Skylar instead. And I like that you mentioned it, right? The Martis pickup. Why does it work? The fact that he has a little bit more mobility, more control over the tempo of the early game compared to a Fredrin jungle, which is what RQ opted for in game number one. It should help create a difference in focus, taking it away from the Irithel. And I think that's super valuable. RQ now, they have a chance to start in with the bans, seeing as the EXP lane as well as the rowing position still left open. Alter Ego, they severely need engage, but RQ, they take away the X-Ward first.
Wanted to make sure that they can't kite back. That's the whole basis of this Irithel pick, is having heroes that can slow you down or speed you up so you can actually outmaneuver and just outrun your opponents. That seems to be the backbone of how Irithel is supposed to be played. So with the Yi, they here don't want the X-Borg to be an additional slow on top of the real-world manipulation or the Void Crystals. The Kaja banned away though, leaves only Franco as a suppression hero if RRQ wants to go for it.
Wow, you know what, looking at the bans here, right, RRQ, they might commit to a hero for EXP again. Why? Pi effect. Pi has been such an important role in that EXP, and there you go, the Uranus ban does come through again. And Alter Ego, I feel like they need to ban a hero for Naomi, but is it gonna be Cho or Natalia? Irithel is quite vulnerable if Natalia is around.
Oh, I kind of like the Natalia pick.
Natalia pick can work, there are targets available in this game, but again, we haven't seen too much of the protection tools that Alter Ego could possibly use. So RRQ, you gotta be wary about that as well, right? So far, only the Martis can push people away. Alter Ego, they're gonna opt for that Tro pick. They've seen Naomi on it as well, but now, what will RRQ expose first? Will it be a roamer? knowing that there's only a select few handful of heroes available for Naomi to make use of.
I think
Baksha.
save it for last. Yeah.
I think they should just go for the jungler here, Baksha, and just really utilize Naomi's flexibility that you mentioned earlier in that last pick. Baksha here doesn't make sense here. Adding another tanky unit apart from the Terizla, I feel like it makes sense because solely of his mobility that he will bring to the table.
Yeah, he can go head-to-head with the Martis in the early game, give the Martis a little bit of a hard time, prevent that snowball. Or they can go still for the Ling.
Whoa!
Franco is the choice here for RRQ. I expected that maybe they could go for something a little bit more dynamic.
Yeah.
Even something like the Atlas, honestly. But now Alter Ego, the last two picks.
So RRQ right now, their composition is not nearly as teamfight heavy as Alter Ego. It's by all means more of a pick composition, but it operates on the same premise. Someone gets a pick off, Terizla zones everyone else away. If they are ahead enough, this will work just fine, but for Alter Ego, they have used this strategy before, so they will have countermeasures available to counter, to counter their own counters.
Countering their own counters.
Wow.
Okay.
Blade armoring, basically.
Okay, Novaria is going to be the choice as well as the glue.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, nasty range here that Alter Ego has set up, right? You have the Eve, you have the Novaria as a roam.
It's a lot of slow as well, man.
A lot of slows, a lot of range.
Astral Meteor, Void Crystal. There's going to be so many slows that RRQ needs to walk through. They'll be possibly forced to use a flicker to properly engage. An assassin will be great here. There's not a lot of lockdown, not a lot of crowd control. If Fresa can pull off the crazy mechanics, the Ling was available. It will be picked up.
There it is, the Ling are going to be the choice here for RRQ. Man, when was the last time we saw Fresic on the Ling? It was this season, but we don't get to see it too often. I'm excited to see his performance. And I'm excited to see whether or not this is going to work out for Alter Ego. They only have... They don't necessarily have any playmaking tools at all. They're banking on range. That's
kiting, yeah. Range and kite is, I feel like, their approach. Just poke, poke, poke till your enemies can't do no more.
Well, here's the issue though. With the new patch comes a bit of a modification to the rapid boots. It now reduces slow effects that could come in crucial in a game that is so dependent on walking through slows, especially for Naomi on the roamer. Usually Franco does go for the rapid boots anyways. We'll see if that is what he builds. We'll see if that actually comes in clutch, especially in those late game fights where a single iron hook could really decide the fate of the entire game.
But playing front to back, the main weakness is dive. Especially an assassin hero like Ling. If Ling is able to have the same impact that we know him to have back in the day when he was at his peak on an assassin, it looks like it's a little bit more homework here for Alter Ego to work with, especially when he goes in for those kills.
I mean, winning condition-wise, I feel like it's clear that RRQ's winning condition is more simpler, is more straightforward, but Alter Ego has a very complex way of execution or executing in Game 2 if they want to clean sweep this series.
Well, I feel like they're trying to go for a bit of a split push right here. Maybe using the glue for more of a split push tool instead of a teamfight tool. Because if you look at the composition, no one is that important for the glue to just zone out or try and mount in the middle of a fight. And in fact, if Alter Ego goes for a split push, the 4 men they leave, right? The 4 men trying to maybe dance around the Lord can very easily scout out with the Astral Echo, and they can still just chip away at the health bars with the range coming in from the Yve and the Novaria. Week 3, top 3 junglers though, Fersik, Van, and Tsutsujin. Funny enough, Van is the highest over here, which is, again, testament to how good he is. For Fersik, the turtle rate is very, very high. If he can, again, secure all these turtles in the early game, RRQ can get some snowball going like Alter Ego did in game number 1.
Oh, very interesting stat indeed if we're talking about week 3. But, 3, 2, 1, it seems like the game.
Is that what he's talking about?
Yeah, that might not be what he was doing, right?
Then why is he like
Maybe he's dancing.
Finger dancing.
Is he not allowed to
maybe?
dance?
You know what? You're right. Seeing the marshal right now, he is dancing.
Ladies and gentlemen at home, you can't confirm, but the marshals are absolutely dancing right now. Oh, you guys missed it barely. That's
The dance?
unfortunate.
Oh
Yeah.
man!
Yikes.
Yikes! But what's not yikes is the fact that we are still in a technical pause. Ladies and gentlemen, please stay patient with us. Sportsmanship is our utmost priority, and we want to make sure that the players, that the casters, that you guys at home, our lovely esteemed viewers, have the best experience as possible. And now we get a little bit more time to dive into their roster.
What is their roster is the question here.
Really is the question, isn't it?
I mean, no, I mean the composition of Alter Ego, right? What do you use as an engaging tool? You brought it up already.
There's none.
Glue, real world manipulation, that's the best you can get.
It's
And-
not reliable though. It only
Exactly.
gives you slow.
Exactly.
And looking at even the lane matchups, right? Irithel Brody, not exactly a win. Glue Terizla, I think Terizla wins that pretty decisively. Able to heal from the splits in the midst of a big engagement. In the mid lane, Valentina against Eve, again, not really that much lane potential. If RRQ can win the lanes initially and then shut down the smartest completely by invading and ganking, this could be the surefire solution to just take down Alter Ego and stifle their aggression.
Does Alter Ego have any winning lanes?
Alter Ego have
Irithel
winning lane.
Brody?
Just the mid. I feel like the mid, they have more control, right? With the Eve and Novaria, if you head to head, it's Franco and Valentina, which lacks range. I feel like they can exploit that, clear it fast, and rotate towards wherever they feel. But then again, there is no engagement tool. There's no crowd control within their composition, whereas we're talking about RQ during lore dances, during turtle fights as well. They can rely on Terizla with the flickered, not Divine Judgment, flicker penalty zone.
Yeah.
Or even
Franco.
even just Ling.
Bloody Hunt.
Ling
Ling.
just entering the back lines, looking for Yves. That is quite juicy. Novaria, if possible.
Even the Brody has a kiss.
Has a smooch.
Corrosion strike.
Arashi, do the smooch.
What?
Do it.
The Brody
His
smooch.
skill too.
I'm not sure if I know how to do that.
It's so easy.
So easy.
How would you do it first? Show an example.
Mwah.
There you go.
Alright, close enough. No homo though. Anyway, and that mid lane, more wave clear, 2 mages in the mid lane. But if RRQ can land an Iron Hook, that could be fatal. That could be devastating for this 2v2.
One
This is
word,
why-
purify.
Yes, we're quite curious to see how many purifiers are in the hands of Alter Ego, because their composition right now, if they don't get caught out, it's all good. They don't really need a lot of flickers, a lot of sprints, a lot of petrifies. So they can very easily just go for a lot of purifies and get the pull yourself together for even shorter cooldown on that battle spell.
And on the other side, RQ, they can just go for Flicker.
My, oh my. That is where I feel like with Flicker, you're able to get more range, close the distance, or even maneuver defensively.
And like you mentioned about range, right? For the side of RQ that they're lacking. Valentina, pick up real world manipulation.
True, but I feel like, I don't know. The
Or
real
even Novaria. You can take it.
to open vision.
Yeah. There's like so many things that the Valentina can utilize and play with to strengthen that lack of range.
Well, Astral Echo Iron Hook combo, that is still a possibility as well. But here we go.
Finally, ladies and gentlemen, into the land of dawn we go.
Whoa,
and we're going
whoa.
straight into the middle of the action as Sally Boy is caught very low in the first minute of the game, but so is Skylar. What in the world happened?
Let me analyze. A minute 30. Okay, Skylar's low. Let's see. 2v1. Good Iron Hook. And with the smooch as well now, Skylar isn't able to take him down, but Versick is there to join the party. Tapas a blade, hasn't been popped yet, and there you go. Nino gets taken down as Versick finds the first blood.
Great first blood for RRQ. As per their win condition, Versick will have to try and farm up a storm right here if he wants to have that late game presence that all things aspire to have. Unfortunately, they sacrificed the first turtle. This is a valid strategy, but now it's just a bit more costly. Alter Ego are willing to make that trade. We'll see if that pays off in the long run.
So the answer to our previous question before this match begun was how many Purifies are we going to see? And the answer is none. No one from the side of Alter Ego have opted for Purify, neither for the side of RQ. I kind of missed those predictions. Was it a split 3-3?
Ooh.
Hi, Gani. How
the
you
king
doing?
have been dethroned. Still equal though at 30 points.
We're still equal, Arashi. We're still equal. Let's share the
Spotlight?
spotlight.
It is what it is,
Love
man.
you, Arashi.
Love you too, bro. Looking at the emblems, agility for RRQ. You need to be roaming around the map as much as possible. And on the other hand, whoa, look at that.
Oh, Naomi caught for Cecil Flicker as a defensive move. Pai will not be able to commit as he knows Terizla is already upstairs. They're trying to push. Versick will not claim the gold as Rossi with the Navaria finds the gold steal.
Alter Ego, they're the ones trying to engage on using the fighter against the assassin matchup, using the superior burst damage that mages have in the early game against RRQ. It's going to work for now, but if they don't get a lead in the mid game, this is where I think RRQ's composition will start to ramp up. I think the Terizla is going to be a big factor, unless, of course, Pai can really just make the Terizla a non-factor using the wave manipulation.
I agree, and that's why this matchup in particular with the composition that both of these teams have built and brought here for game number 2 is interesting because there's intricate levels of power spikes. In the early game, you'd think that perhaps Selly Boy has a little bit more of an edge. Towards that mid game, you see other heroes start to pop off like Skylar, Terizla, but if it falls into the late game, Alter Ego has Nino and Rossi to dish out the damage, if not in addition with Udil. So there are small windows of opportunity for both of these teams in certain periods of time. And so far, the window of opportunity for Alter Ego in the early game, they haven't been able to take full advantage over.
RRQ seems like they're doing a split focus kind of play, going for the turtle, but still having two members in the bottom side. They might get punished for it, but Versick is here for the steal.
Retribution will fall to the hands of Alter Ego's Banana now, soaking damage, Mountain as well. Flickering away, but Silly Boy, good Mortal Coil, though he will fall as well. Oh, Clay with the flicker to secure the kill. As Versick will be able to escape, but take a look at the mobilization for Clay.
Oh.
He will not be taken down as, again, the movements and maneuvers from Clay was just too quick. But the hook and the hunt will be able to secure Pai in under the turret.
That's for 2-0 trade for RRQ. Getting more of an advantage there, taking away that slight early game momentum that Alter Ego has built for themselves, especially in terms of neutral objective control. As Versick, is he going to go for a kill in that top side? Meanwhile, on the bottom.
Let's see, it's technically a 2v1 now.
So close.
1 HP. Almost though.
It's so unfortunate, but Naomi will be trying to confirm the kill even more. Sully Boy is in the area, but he is but alone. Seems like it's going to be back to the default, back to the Intel gameplay, waiting again for the next turtle. Before that, though, I think RRQ, they're going to try and make an aggressive move into the jungle. Because otherwise, they're not really making use of this Franco, of this pick-off potential.
Not just yet. The thing is, the Franco and the Valentina is an interesting combo because the Valentina doesn't necessarily have enough damage in the early game to burst down whoever Franco is able to pick off.
The lack of burst damage is definitely a concern, but Valentina, with some items later on, will be able to do so, and so will the Brody technically. And still, if it's not enough, the Torpot memory, but now Banana walks into an aggressive Sully Boy.
I feel like he's okay now. Look at the re-engage and cover. Iron Hook does not connect as Novaria from the back was able to spot. the whereabouts of the Franco.
Ooh, look at what RQ is doing, man.
Oh my god, a solo kill, but it will be traded back though. The torn apart memories damage was more than enough to take Nino down. Now, it's a turtle fight. Banana pops the penalty zone. But Banana gets taken down, gets bursted by Udil as well. Naomi gets taken down as well. Clay now targeted as Sally Boy is there to steal the turtle. Persik, quite low, will be able to escape with the Ling. Pi still mounting Clay, but will there be enough damage? Oh, with the decimation, creative play by Clay.
That was crazy. RRQ, they're gonna stop clumping, man. Pi got a very good engage on the turtle right there. What they did earlier to set up that play was also to gather at the turtle and let Fairsake use that mobility to clear the wave on the far side. Look at the hook by Naomi though.
Oh, good hook. The mortar coil is still there though. Oh, outside. Skylar will not be able to defend. Oh, the damage is more than enough as Rossi will secure the kill with the Novaria. What happened there? Skylar miscalculated.
Yeah, that was quite greedy. He didn't even attempt to use the flicker to get out of that situation. He might have thought that he could maneuver around it, but the slow and the DOT damage coming in from Novaria, it was a little too much to handle, and that's going to put them in a little bit of a back. And 1-1 on a Brody in the early game. Not the best of situations that you would want for a Brody.
They really aren't snowballing as hard as Alter Ego were in game number 1, and that is a concerning fact. Of course, in the late game, they do have a Ling and a Valentina. Very solid options for damage. And when it comes to the mobility, the Ling certainly has a bit more of an advantage. But it seems like Alter Ego are the ones dictating the aggression again and again, even though RRQ are the ones with the better pickup.
Well, looking at the situation right now, Scholar will be able to claim the tier 1 bottom turret. Conceal though, will not be able to find an engage. Will they commit to this? Sally Boy caught to a half HP. Oh, Pi with the flanks will commit to a fight and engage towards Clay, which, very smart Clay. He copied the split, and he is able to escape.
Oh, but look at that range again, that visibility. Nana goes in. Oh, Naomi actually gets that hook, but it's still onto Sally Boy, still able to get out of that pickoff coming in. RRQ now, once again, looking for options, looking for the engage. Doesn't quite find it just yet. And we were talking about power spikes earlier on. When does RRQ's hit?
I think it's just about now. Even Clay just finished the Lightning Truncheon. That's a lot of burst damage. Alter Ego, they must be itemizing for this early. Maybe only for one source of damage, so if they can go for a proper fight, it could be massive, but Skylar gets caught out.
Oh, he's very isolated now, very weird positioning. Persik though, will look for the trade back. Tempest Blade as a defensive maneuver, will be able to escape for now, but Skylar, he kind of dozed off there, bot side alone, uncovered, and of course Alter Ego will be there to punish.
He has his flicker available as well there, and he did not use it. Real-time win probability, ever so slightly favoring Alter Ego right here. But look at that. Once again, Pi is making that very obnoxious frontline play.
Yikes. Real world manipulation to slow Banana down. Penalty zone though, he does not care. He will be taken out though, but it seems like RRQ with the man down will not be able to find anything. Nino, very low Persik, almost gets the kill as the Astral Sphere almost gets Persik down. Now Pi will be able to escape as Sally Boy will comfortably take the Lord.
RRQ, they got a lot of burst damage, but they are lacking in damage overall. Whenever Pi goes in with the split, RRQ, all they do is back away. They couldn't do anything, and they can't even stand in the real world manipulation. If you think it's bad now, wait till Udil finishes that glowing one. It's gonna get even worse for them. Radiant armor is being built on the side of RRQ instead of Athena's. It's a good mix of burst damage and DOT. You can't blame them, but look at Udil.
Real world manipulation, oh, he miscalculated. He did not see the members of RRQ is flowing in the mid lane, and he will be punished for it.
It's getting messy for both of these teams. Earlier on, it was Skylar making a little bit of a mistake. Now it's Udil being traded back with RRQ being able to defend that Lord in that bottom side. What has Alter Ego been able to get? I guess they do have some damage in the top side. Hopefully they get that in exchange. But other than that, what's the push? What's the trade?
Not much. Hopefully, I think the
don't even
minions.
get it.
Yeah, that was very close, but it finally gets cleared out by RRQ. Now it's back to the pickoff game. It's all in the balance. It's all about who can engage better first, Glue or the Terizla. And it's a very fine game.
Oh, good penalty zone here, but no follow-up. The mid will be the target for Alter Ego. Versick jumps in, does not commit. Pi, though, mounting Skylar with the Astral Sphere. It will secure the kill. And it seems like now 3 members from RRQ will be taken out as Alter Ego now. They look to push the momentum. They find the mid-tier 2 as RRQ. They are scattered.
Pi and Rossi have been doing such an excellent job at zoning away Skylar from all these team fights. Hence, the reason why he's so far behind. It's such a different scenario as to what we saw in game number 1 when the Brody was able to snowball. Here, it's Nino on the Irithel that's able to snowball.
A big problem right now is the glue pick, man. Whenever Pi jumps in onto 2 or 3 people, like we said, RRQ clumping together because they're afraid of getting sniped maybe. That's where Pi goes in, and earlier, I think he almost single-handedly just did enough damage to just completely take Skylar out of the game. He is absolutely behind right now, and even if you bring the game longer, he is not equipped to deal with a tanky hero like the glue.
See the invade of the purple buff, which will be collected still by Versick, I think. I might be wrong though. No, it was Solon. Was it Solon? Oh, they didn't get to catch that. But it seems like Alter Ego Esports now, their agenda is going to be the Lord.
Oof. The Lord is spawning soon, and Nino is the one clearing the wave. Look at how Alter Ego's playing, man. There's a Ling on the side of RRQ, yet Nino is perfectly comfortable just walking around alone. Alter Ego just playing way more confident than RRQ is.
Udil gets the purple buff, by the way.
Udil gets the purple buff. That's why Ling will not join the fight.
He might, but it's risky.
It is. Let's see. Okay, the pull, the hook, and the hunt on towards Pi. The damage is there. Will it be enough, though? It will. Skylar with the torn apart memory, but Banana will be the trade. It's both EXP laners get taken down. Versick gathers himself in the top side. Real manipulation popped. Clay forced to use the flicker. Repositioning here, but Navaria spots him. Now the reset here. It seems like Alter Ego Esports does not want to gamble the Lord take.
Oh man, but RQ, they did a really good job at going for a reset too, but it doesn't get resetted. Boy can go for this. Naomi doesn't have his ultimate.
Oh, they're going for the 50-50. Boy though trying to zone up Versick away. Half HP. Good hook. No hunt though. Fermi will lose his immortality as the Lord will be resetted to almost a full HP. But my goodness, this Lord Dance has been very entertaining.
The longer the Lord Dance goes, the more Alter Ego gets value. They have a lot more poke damage. Versick almost got completely one-shot by Rossi. It's not even Udil, and that will take that Lord.
Yeah, no Ling in sight. That shows Alter Ego Esports will grab the Lord very comfortably.
4,000 gold lead for Alter Ego. 3 turtles compared to none. 5 turrets compared to 2. 2 lords compared to none. Alter Ego Esports being at the bottom of the brackets earlier on in the season, going against the #1 on the standings in RRQ, completely outclassing the Kings of Kings. Ladies and gentlemen, this is how upside down things are looking. Alter Ego, they're looking for a 2-0 here.
Let's see, will it work or will it be a defense? Real world revelation popped. Skylar got the chunk. Oh, Banana! Goodbye to Banana. He gets taken down. The Lord now still out of half HP. Oh, the base is quite exposed as the Uncrowned Kings has a say in the first leg. They managed to defeat the Kings of Kings.
The largest upset for all the kingdom out there. 2-0, defeated 2-0 again by a team that went 1-5. 1 win, 5 losses compared to RR.